Tan here from the Gaming Odyssey, and welcome to my 2019 NFL season predictions. For all 32 teams, I predicted the record. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go division by division. I'm not going to go through every game, but just why I think the team's going to perform, how I think they're going to do, and then we're going to do the postseason. So starting off the AFC North, I have the Browns doing really well. I think that they're a team that just has a great defense. Olivier Vernon, Denzel Ward, and Myles Garrett. I think they'll lose a couple games at the beginning, but I think they'll get their footing. I love Baker Mayfield, him and Odell and Jarvis. I think they're just gonna do great, and I think, you know, they go 12-4. Ravens, I really like. Yeah, they lost guys like C.J. Mosley and Zadarius Smith, but they got Earl Thomas, the veteran safety, and their offense is fine. They have a kind of easy schedule. I just think they're going to lose teams here like New England, Seattle, where their defense might not get the wins they might be able to get, but I think they'll make the postseason. And then I just don't have the Bengals and Steelers doing well. The Bengals, I don't hate them. I like the new coach Zach Taylor. I just don't really love their offense. Andy Dalton's good. I don't hate him, but he's fine. And I just don't think the Steelers are going to perform. I think that the Steelers, Big Ben's going to regress. I think him and Drew Brees especially are going to have off seasons. And I just don't love the defense. Yeah, they drafted Devin Bush, but I just think they're going to kind of lack with that on the defense. NFC North, I love the Packers a lot this year. They got great defensive players. Darius Smith, the former Raven, and Preston Smith, the former Redskin. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be back. They have an easy schedule. Like tough teams like the Eagles, they play at home. The only losses I have are really great teams like the Chiefs, Chargers. That's going to be excellent. Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes, but they just don't have, like, maybe they might lose like a trap game here to the Niners, but I just don't see that. I think this is a made team. I have the Vikings returning to the postseason 11-5. I think Kirk Cousins' second year boasts better results. The Bears, I think, are 9-7. I think that their offense subs down. They have a tougher schedule. Last year they had a very easy schedule. Just teams like the Chargers, the Chiefs, I think will get them. They're gonna get some wins here and there, but I just don't think their defense can repeat. We saw the Jaguars 2018 or 2017. They almost went to the Super Bowl, but then they had an off year next year. So I think the Bears will still be a good team next time, but not that great. And Lions, I just think, are a middle of the road team. Now to the South, I love the Colts a lot. I think they have a very good team. I also think that they do play some tougher opponents, and I think they will suffer some losses here. Um, like the Chargers, the Chiefs, the Falcons, but they also have some easier teams, I guess you could say. The Texans I like. I just think the O-line is gonna suffer, and they lost Tyrann Mathieu, their safety. Yeah, I love J.J. Watt, DeAndre Hopkins, and Deshaun Watson, but they just got an easy schedule last year. In their first playoff game, they didn't do well. I think they need to get a new head coach. The Jaguars, I think, are a perfect 7-9 team. I like Nick Foles. I think he's good. I like their defense a lot, especially since they drafted Josh Allen, the outside backer. They just don't have a number one wide receiver that really scares me and I think can do damage. And then Tennessee just kind of has a difficult schedule. I just don't think that Marcus Mariota, he's fine. And I don't know, this team could do better than I think, but yeah. NFC South, I think, is really interesting. Let's start at the bottom. Why do I have the Saints going 5-11? I think Drew Brees is going to really have a bad season. I think he's going to regress. And if you saw at the end of last season, he really struggled at the end of the year. He honestly did. I think Mike Thomas is going to do great. I think players like that, but their defense is not really the best. And they have a tough schedule. The Seahawks, the Rams, good teams. I think the Buccaneers are going to get upset. Actually, yeah, I think they will, and I just am confident they're going to slow down. Then we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think they're good. I love how they got Bruce Arians as their head coach. I just think that they lost Quan Alexander, the linebacker. Yeah, they drafted Devin White, but I don't know. I just think their defense has just too many holes. I think they'll be 7-9. Falcons and Panthers, I think both make it. I think the Panthers have an easier schedule. I think that Christian McCaffrey is going to have a breakout year, and I think Cam will be back from the reports from training camp. And then Atlanta, I think will do well. On the East, I have the Patriots doing really well as always. Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, they drafted N'Keal Harry. I almost have the Bills going to the postseason. I feel like if the AFC was a bit weaker, they might. I like that they got like Cole Beasley, a nice possession wide receiver, and John Brown, a good deep threat for Josh Allen. That's a really good moves they made. I like it all over. They just have some tough games. The Browns, the Eagles. They might be. You know what? I'm gonna give them the Cincy win. Why not? I'll give them the Bengals. Um, but I just think ultimately in tougher games they can't pull it out. I feel like if the AFC didn't have teams like the Chiefs or Ravens, I think the Bills could make the postseason as a wild card. I just don't think they are this season. The Jets just have another tough schedule. They do. I like their pieces, but there's not any games I can say. Well, I'll show you. Like, there's not any games I'm like, I think they'll win this one. It's really tough here. Browns are a great team. Bills, Eagles, they don't really have any easy games. They kind of do here, and I gave them those wins. But yeah, and I think the Dolphins are the worst team in the NFL. In my tier ranking video, I said they're the worst. I like Josh Rosen and Minka Fitzpatrick, both young guys, but I just don't think they're going to do that good at all. NFC East, kind of bored by the ads, but Cowboys 11-5, they got better. Eagles 9-7. This was extremely tough. I really like what they added, but there's one game between them and the Falcons, and that decided who to make the postseason. And I just believe that the Eagles cannot hold the Falcons' defense. And the Eagles have a tough stretch of games. They play like the Cowboys, Vikings in a row, and they have some tougher games. Washington 6-10. I don't trust their quarterback. If Case Keenum plays, he's fine. He's not really a big threat. And if it's Dwayne Haskins, he's a rookie, so I think they'll be better next year. And the Giants 0-16. I just really don't think they're a great team. I love Saquon Barkley, but their defense is terrible. Not really good at all. And they don't have a team. Like, I don't think they contain Mike Evans. I think these are better teams. They could do better here, but I just don't see it. I think they're gonna lose. I think they're not gonna be like terrible. I think some of the games will be close, but I just don't see them pulling off any wins. If you want to convince me otherwise, I'd love to hear your arguments. As this moment, I just don't see them. And then the West, AFC West, I love the Chargers. Great defense, great offense. I think the Chiefs are still really great. Patrick Mahomes is an extraordinary talent, and they added Tyrann Mathieu and Frank Clark to that defense. The Broncos, I think, are average. Teams like the Broncos, Redskins, and like Bengals, I think they'll all be better next year, just not this year. And then the Raiders, I don't have them winning a single game. I don't love their defense. I think they're going to score some points with Antonio Brown, but I just don't think they can hold teams, any of these teams here. Maybe they might get a win here or there, but I just don't see it. And then finishing off with the NFC West, I really like the I think the Seahawks are gonna win it. I think that I like Russell Wilson. I like Pete Carroll. Just really good players and stuff. So yeah, I think the Rams slumped down. I just think that they're not gonna do as great. I just think that people have tape on how to beat them in the Super Bowl, and especially with Todd Gurley, that's a big thing. If Todd Gurley was in better health, I'll have them doing better. Cardinals 8-8. I like what they did. I like their draft. They got Hakeem Butler, Andy Isabella, Kyle Murray, three great offensive people. I like their defense, and then the Niners 5-11. Maybe they go. I don't know. I just think that's where they are. So let's do the postseason. So on the way here to the wild card, who do we have going up here? I thought I would kind of pick these games as I'm recording this. Alrighty, Chiefs and Colts, Ravens and Patriots. I just think the Patriots are more experienced than Baltimore at quarterback, so they win. Colts and Chiefs. The Colts, I think, at home are better, and I do think that I just like Frank Reich a bit more than Andy Reid. Vikings and Seahawks, that's interesting. Panthers and Falcons. I think the Panthers. I think the Seattle home. This will be a close game. Oh man. The Seahawks have Chris Carson. They have a better running game. I think they win. Alrighty. We'll go to the next week. The divisional round. Okay, we have some interesting games. Some rematches here. Panthers and Cowboys. I think that the Cowboys are a well-rounded team, and I think that the Packers with their defense can contain Russell Wilson. Tom Brady against the Browns in Cleveland. Man, this is extremely tough. You can never bet against Tom Brady, but I like the Browns, and I think the Chargers are the best team. Alrighty. Conference round. These are tough games. Okay, I think the Chargers win this. I think they're more experienced than Cleveland. And Cowboys and Packers, I think it's the Packers. I just trust them a bit more. And in the Super Bowl, I have Chargers and Packers, and I have the LA Chargers winning one of the best Super Bowls. Those are my prediction, guys. I know some of them are a bit crazy, but that's how I have things going. I have a lot of teams missing from last year. Teams like the Saints, the Eagles, the Bears, the Rams. But I just think this is more realistic with how things go and stuff. But, I might be wrong, so let me know in the comments below what you guys think. And this is Tanman from Gaming Odyssey. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.